Hi everyone, welcome to Fishing Minty. Well, it's the 11th of October now and another year has flashed before my eyes, and another year that I've not fished as often as I would like to. I don't know where the year's gone. The weekends I've basically been spent going to the occasional car show, and in between that I've been trying to fix my truck to get to the occasional car show. I've fished a few matches rather unsuccessfully, and probably pleasure fishing wise I've only been out about 12 times I think, so once a month nowhere near good enough. And I'm at Whalesborough today, another attempt to catch carp from here. I caught a few last year here, but this year they've escaped me. I've had a few takes from them on the pole or the whip and even the method feeder rod, but I've lost them every time in matches and in pleasure sessions, so I've brought my full carp setup. My lash dwarf rods, 6 foot and 9 foot, strong line and powerful, strong, thick wire gauge hooks, so hopefully if I hook one I'll catch one. There's plenty showing this morning. We've had a couple of jumps straight in front of me, which is where my 9 foot rod's cast to. We've had one leap clear of the water to the peg to the left of me. Right down that far end there's been a few, or one jumping in quick succession. There's also been a cormorant in the peg as well, so I don't think that would trouble the carp, but it might split them a bit. I think they've eaten all the bream in here, or a lot of them anyway. But bait wise, I'm using up some of the bait left from way back when I did Westfest in the summer, so we've got some dynamite mixed particles, Groot's hemp seed, whole wheat rapeseed and anise seed, which has lasted nicely in the fridge actually over a few months. It's good. They've got usual boilies, sticky baits, krill 12mm, which is what I've had most of my success on in this lake. We've also got a 16mm of the same, and this is a 12mm dynamite monster tiger boilie, which I used successfully at Angler's Paradise. I've also got some 6mm bloodworm and 4mm krill sticky baits pellets if you want to scale down. I've also got various 6mm wafters, mainline match, ringers, an old sweet corn as well, and some bloodworm dumbbell wafters from sticky baits, which I haven't had any success on yet, but I might do today. But yeah, that's about it. Just fishing the usual bomb and hellebig setup. Size 8 barbly suck on one, I think the other one's a size 6 barbly suck. Both with a bait screw, one's directly on the hook and the other's on a loop on a hair rig, just for a bit of variety, but I tend to catch most of my carp on a bait screw directly on the hook shank itself, so I might change the hair rig one onto a bait screw on a hook shank. But yeah, nice lazy session this morning. It's meant to be 15-16 degrees all day, overcast, barely a breeze, so I'm hunkered down in my thermal leggings and my suit, just having a bit of a lazy few hours, hoping a few carp will join me along the way for some excitement. Here's our robin back again. There's a carp just on the surface there, just from through the peg from the left to the right. There's also one further up as well, near where my bait is. Yeah, they quite often do come on the surface in this lake when the sun's out, basking in the last of the year's warm sun. And the trouble is whether they're going to get their heads down and feed. More tentative indications on that right rod. At the moment, the one thing I'm regretting not bringing is any floating baits like floating crust, because as usual here on a warm day, the carp are just cruising around on the surface. There's a shoal of about 4 or 5 there, just about 3 or 4 metres away from that far bank, and you've got a similar sized shoal just further round, more in the middle of that section over there. Whether they'd be in the mood for taking a bait off the surface or not, I don't know, but yeah, I'm regretting not having anything to just dangle in front of their noses. There's just some more there. I don't think you can see the shadows or the ripples on the surface. I mean, I've got a lot of bait on the bottom around where my hook baits are. And they're not too far away, but it's just whether they're going to get their heads down and feed on that bait on the bottom. I've not even had any minor indications for over an hour, I don't think. You can see the one cruising along the top there. Get down to the bottom, please, fish. finally, with a take. £3 It's nearly 5 hours fishing. That's a 1.5. Now, can we get it back into our area? And this is actually on an 8mm mainline match tuna wafter. So maybe even the 12mm boil is too big for him today. I've still got my carp rig on. So is that hook with a mash bait spike on the shank of the hook. But I just took that 12mm krill boilie off and replaced it with a 8mm tuna wafter. I thought it went on a crazy initial run. It did come back in, but it's just gone on a bit of a run there. It did seem to be happy to come back into the peg. It's right in front of me now at least anyway. After that initial take, he's swam all the way to the left. Let's see whether he's going to have another dive for it. I think it's been about an hour since I cast this rod out. Maybe a little bit longer actually, I can't remember. It's 4.5 hours of fishing. Up to now there've just been minor indications, the odd bleep here and there. Haven't seen the net. It just forced my camera around there, boy. There you go, that's better. Pulled the lead of my microphone. I still haven't got a wireless microphone. And it's a common carp. About £10 I think. I haven't got my scales with me unfortunately. Let's get him unhooked and get another shot of him. Yes, I'm really pleased with this catch. I said earlier on when it was in the net it was about £10, but actually it's got quite a chunky belly on it, so I think it might be maybe about 12. I haven't got my scales unfortunately, I think I've left them in my net bag, but yeah, well worth a day out. I think this is my second biggest carp, only behind my 18 pounder at Lower Tamar. So let's get him back in the water. So after 4.5 hours of watching a robin and watching loads of carp swim around in and out of my peg, I finally had a proper take as that common carp swam right up that left hand side of the lake. Just kept taking line and line and line. I gradually tightened up the clutch and just pulled it back, and to be honest, as soon as it kind of felt the resistance, it was quite happy to come back into my peg. And it had one small run after that, but it wasn't much of a battle, to be honest. I was quite pleased after the initial take, and I thought maybe it was just going to be a small 4 or 5 pound carp, as they kind of take off a lot quicker than the larger carp from my experience. But when I got it in the net, I thought maybe it's about 10 pounds, and when I got it out of the net in the unhooking mat and I kind of tipped it from its back, it looked quite chunk, quite wide. I think I'm giving myself about 12 pounds for that. I've not got my scales with me, unfortunately, but I think that's the biggest carp I've caught from this lake, which also makes it the second biggest carp I've caught overall, which was the 18 pound common carp from Lower Tamar Lake. So definitely worth the effort now. I wasn't really regretting coming out, but I was thinking when am I going to see some fish. But yeah, the sun's been shining, it's been quite pleasant and warm. There's no wind either, so I've just been sitting here making up some rigs and listening to the sport on the radio and watching a little robin land on my rod, and as I say, watching the carp swim around. So I'm having a pleasant day, and obviously I'm here to fish, aren't I? So I'm here to catch fish. That's what I'm here for, ultimately. You can have as nice a day as you want, blanking all you like, but as soon as you catch that one fish, it just transforms it. So I'm over the moon with that. I'll keep on fishing until my lift picks me up, and hopefully we'll get one more. But I'm quite happy to go home, as I am now, pleased to catch a fish.